Hi, it's Matt. Have you ever sat down to actually start your online business and then you're sitting there and suddenly you think, well, how do I actually start? Where do I start? Because I've got this massive list of things to do here. I've got some idea of how I want it to look in the end, but I got no idea how to get started. Or I've got some idea, but then I go to start that and I think, oh no, this isn't right, I need to do this first. And on and on and on, and you never actually get any momentum. So this is not an uncommon problem. I had the same problem when I first started my online business a few years ago. And so I want to share today a few ideas of what helped me, how I got started, and maybe get you started today with your idea. So first of all, what I want to suggest to you is to get into a different mindset, if you like, and one of service really. So, yes, this is about building your online business, which has your own outcomes as to why you're doing it, etc. But at the end of the day, every business exists to help people. So if you get into this attitude of, okay, I just want to help people. I've got this idea, I've got a rough idea of what it is I want to help with. How do I actually get out there, or how do I help people at the raw level, at the most basic level I can do? So I'm going to give you an example of how I did this, and that might help you get some context as to what I'm talking about and how you might apply this to your own idea. So for me, when I started my online business, it was in the field of exam preparation for people wanting to become police officers. Because when I became a police officer, it was my second, third career, and I'd done a few things before, but more importantly, in context to the exam preparation, it had been like over a decade since finishing high school. And when I looked at the exam preparation, I realized that this is stuff that I would have learned in high school. So if I'm competing against people who are going into the police as their first career, I need to hit the books again and actually work out how to do this stuff. So I did, but I had to, pull in resources from all different places and books and things, and like a lot of things I've done in online business, it worked, but it was not the shortcut, if you like. It was a really long way of doing it, and in hindsight, not the best way of doing it. So I thought, okay, well, I could help other people with that because I can put my knowledge of what I learned and package it all together and give it to them. So I thought, okay, what's a very broad plan to do this? Okay, I know what I want to deliver to them. I could write an ebook, for example. So step one is I'm going to put all this down into an ebook. Now, again, this is not the best way to create a product, so hear me on that, but this is just what I did. So I thought, okay, I'm going to create a product, I put it all into an ebook. Great, that's going to be step one. I need to be able to deliver it to people. So I need a website, something online, so someone can come to the website, buy it, and then they get sent the ebook. So I need that. So that was step two. And so I had the ebook, then I learned, so I learned how to do an ebook, then I learned how to make a basic website and how to sell something. I mean, nowadays it's way easier as well. And then, step three is, okay, now I need to find people, because I had a few people that were already asking me about this, but that was just the ones and twos. How do I get this into the hundreds and the thousands? So I needed to get traffic to my website, so I learned how to do Google advertising. And again, I didn't do it very well, but that was my basic steps. I'm going to create the product, it's going to be an ebook, I'm going to put it on a website, and then I'm going to get people to find the book and buy the book by advertising with Google AdWords. Okay, so that was my three-step process, and that's what I used to get started. Now, was the book the best product in the world? No, it wasn't that, it wasn't that good at all, okay? So, I was selling it to people, but it wasn't that great. In hindsight now, knowing what I know about teaching people, now we have an amazing product, and I'm still innovating every week. Just this week, we're restructuring it again to make it better and better. So, but I got started. The website, terrible, okay? So really bad. But at the end of the day, if someone could get on it and, if they could put up with the poor web design and the clunkiness of it, they could find their way to buy the ebook. And then the AdWords was a disaster too, because I tried to do it on myself, then I outsourced to someone else that they weren't very good at it either. So I wasted a lot of money on ads that I didn't need to at the beginning. But the reason I'm telling you this story is that those three steps, build a book, get a website, and then get people back to the website, is what allowed me to create some momentum. And then, as I say, the rest is history. It turned into a very successful business today. But if I had thought, how am I going to do all this stuff before I got started, then I wouldn't have started. Because you need a degree of naivety, I think, about this to actually start a business. Let alone the statistics on small business. We've heard the numbers that, 9 out of 10 products fail, most small businesses fail in the first 3 years, all this stuff, we have that hanging in the back of our heads. But if we even just look at the tasks to do and we let that get, just weigh us down before we even do anything, then we never get started, we never get momentum. So at the beginning, it's all about this momentum and getting started in that way. Because, like, I'll give you another example in my story, is that if someone said to me, okay, you're going to start an online business doing preparation for police exams. Okay, that's fine. Here's some problems going to happen for you. You're going to be, your career is going to be called into jeopardy. You're going to be pulled in front of internal affairs. Your website's going to get hacked and shut down, and you're not going to go, what happened? You're not going to know what happened. Another thing, you're going to lose money. You're going to end up stuffing up your ads, and you're actually going to be losing money at some point. You're going to be working out of a hospital to build your online business at some point. If someone said all that stuff to me before I got started, and these are actually things that happened, then there's no way I would have got started. But with the fresh naivety that I had to think, okay, I'll make a book, make a website, and put some ads up and people will buy it, right? Okay, now it's not that simple, but if I made it that simple just in my head, that was enough to get started. So that's what I want to share with you today, is just whatever you're thinking in terms of the complexities of business. Yes, you are right, it is complex at some level and it will grow in complexity. But if you're just trying to get started, the key thing is just to get some momentum going, because you're not going to know if it works until you actually do it anyway, and it's guaranteed not to work if you do nothing. So build some momentum, make a quick plan, like a 1, 2, 3, worry about what you need to learn when you get up to that step, and just get going. It's not going to be perfect, it's never going to be perfect at all. You're always going to be improving, and most importantly of all, get into that mindset of service and helping people, because if that is your outcome, is to help people, then it doesn't matter if what you're doing isn't perfect, because if you help someone, then you've already achieved what your outcome was. I wanted to help someone with this and I'm helping them. So fantastic. And as you build momentum, you will, if you're like me, you'll probably start getting addicted to this process of thinking, oh, if I could just fix this bit just a little bit here, then that would improve that, and so on and so on and so on. And then suddenly you've really upskilled in a number of areas, and you're serving more people and you're helping more people, and all because you got started with a little bit of momentum. So that's what I got for you today. Hopefully that's a bit of inspiration for you as to how I got started, and it might help you to get started with your idea.